If the Special Operations Forces are at the point of the military sword, the Navy SEALs consider themselves the tip of the blade, and the tip is the most vulnerable. With only an estimated 2,500 SEAL operators, the teams ultimately rely on the individual and his dedication to win as the decisive advantage between survival and death.
The fundamental missions haven't changed. Give a SEAL his pair of swim fins and his K-bar knife and a weapon of some type, and he'd still be able to prosecute a mission of some level, because that's how we started, and we still basically are a very simple unit. We do have a lot of new technology, which has enabled us to do many more things, but the essence is relying on the individual for the real combat effectiveness.
That individuality sometimes causes them to overamp in the civilian sector, but you got a racehorse here. They require a little different handling. You got to rein them in a little bit more, but we don't want to rein them in so much we take that aggressiveness out of it. The way I put it to them is, gentlemen, you can be as aggressive as you want to, as long as you maintain it at a professional level.
A popular misconception about the SEAL operator is one of unlimited military capability and a superhuman capacity to endure pain and hardship. Although that image is somewhat exaggerated, their ruthlessness in battle and dedication to winning has often been misunderstood. SEAL business is up close and dirty, a force that relies on secrecy and superior planning rather than firepower to engage the enemy. SEALs are an instrument of ego and guts, fear and intelligence, never forgetting that to survive, they must remain stealthy and unpredictable.
Where on the one hand, we are given a lot of credit for being creative and having special abilities, that independence also, some people will see that as these guys are loose cannons. They're out of control. We are very well disciplined, though it expresses itself in a different way than it does in the Marine Corps or in the Army.
SEALs have served in every U.S. military action since Vietnam. Under an operational designation officially described as conflict other than war, they remain active in operations that often go unreported. It is a job that requires living in secrecy and maintaining distance from the public.
I'm not being paid to go hang out at the beach. I'm being trained to do a job. May not be going to war, may not ever go to war or do anything cool again, but I mean, they're paying me that just in case it might happen. Now, the minute I say, no, I'm not going to do it, then I'm a loser. I mean, then I need to leave. I need to leave with my head down.
We spend many years of our lives training and preparing for war. Hopefully there'll be peace, because any true warrior wishes for peace. But in the event of a war, we're fully dedicated to go out there and do our best job to fight it. All of us want to have a good career and do the best job we can and have the American dream just like anybody else. We're not a bunch of mindless machines bent on killing people. We do a job for America just like anybody else, just like a policeman, just like a fireman, and we're proud of it.
The personal price for a career in the teams can be steep. Divorce rates among the all-male units are high. The operational backbone for this small community comes primarily from the enlisted men, not the officers. Among themselves, individual respect is earned solely on an operator's reputation as a warrior. Those who achieve this unspoken notoriety are known as meat eaters.
The word killing is certainly a very negative word in our society. That word certainly in the warrior caste needs to be inculcated into their mind. And you have to be at ease with that, because that is the byproduct. I try to keep myself in neutral when it comes to that. I derive no pleasure nor sorrow. Just stay neutral. Move through the target and move on and carry on with your life. And don't look back, don't dwell on it. I never got the shakes. Have no regrets. Have no regrets. I wish I'd had a few more targets to assault, to be very truthful with you.
We get job satisfaction just like anybody else. And we're not looking for 9-to-5 jobs here. You know, we're looking for maybe that call that's going to come in the middle of the night and say, hey, you know, come into work. It's time to go do your thing.
Everybody to work as a unit, as a group, as a class. ready to be 1, 2, 3.
A story is told of a Buds class standing at attention in front of a large sand berm. Suddenly, one of the SEAL instructors quietly climbed to the top of the berm. There, in full view of the class, he shielded his eyes from the sun and stared out to sea, searching the entire horizon from side to side. When he finished, he walked down the hill and stood in front of the class. "Does anyone know what I'm looking for?" he asked. No one replied. He paused before he spoke. "I'm looking for a war."